Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. I could have been wrong about Casper, and we're going to have to talk about it because it's really important. Now, a couple of weeks ago, one of my subscribers asked me to take a look at it, and I did. I thought it was a pretty solid project. However, I'm looking for the best of the best because I plan to do a lot of stacking during this bear market and the recession that we're in, and it's going to get worse and worse, and I'm going to be stacking. Now, none of this is financial advice, but I'm going to be stacking Casper due to what I uncovered, and I want to share that information with you. Now, you got to bear with me because we're going to talk about some of the code, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible so everyone can understand it. Because, quite frankly, it wasn't easy for me to understand. I had to read and reread over and over. But there's a huge correlation between Casper and Ethereum, and that correlation could ignite the Casper token in the future. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I kind of missed was the team. I knew it had a very solid team, and I mentioned that in my last video. However, it has an exceptional world-class team, and the founders are made up of ex-executives from Microsoft, Google, and Adobe. And guys, that matters when you're trying to compete on the top level of the best, most advanced technology in the world. Now, the second thing that I didn't realize was that correlation between Casper and Ethereum. Now, bear with me for a second because it gets a little complicated. Now, there's Casper Labs, which is basically the foundation that created Casper Network. Now, that's pretty simple. But as I was reading and going down the rabbit hole, they kept talking about Casper Protocol and Ethereum. For instance, I kept seeing logos like that. And I didn't want to, give you information about Casper Protocol, and it had nothing to do with the Casper Network. So I had to read and reread. But let me read you something, and this kind of blew me away. And this is the catalyst that literally might 10, 50, 100x Casper in a couple of years. Casper uses a type of POS consensus protocol called Casper CBC, which is what the Ethereum network is expected to adopt once it transitions to its eventual 3.0 model. Now, as a result, the team behind Casper Network sometimes refers to the project as the final evolution of Ethereum. Now, let's think about what they said, guys. When Ethereum, arguably the most powerful blockchain in the world, definitely if you don't count Bitcoin, they're saying that when Ethereum reaches 3.0 and it's firing on all cylinders, it will have created what Casper Network already is. Think about that, guys. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is an Ethereum killer, and even if it has better, more advanced technology that's already ready to roll, in my opinion, it's not going to overthrow the momentum, the size of the ecosystem, and the fact that Wall Street is behind Ethereum. But I will tell you that there's something that can happen, which I learned, which I'm about to show you, that might make a huge, huge difference. Now, the guy on the screen, which is a co-founder of Casper, in this video, he's talking about Kusama, which is the test net of Polkadot. Now, why is that relevant, and what is a test net? Well, basically, when developers create and want to build on and deploy onto Polkadot, they can't test it, right? Well, they go into Kusama, which is basically a clone. They're almost exact, or they are the exact same thing. And you can test it live. And then when you get all the kinks worked out, you can deploy it back to the Polkadot chain. Now, I've got to give a shout out to Kevin Cage. He's how I uncovered this. So you should track the guy down, Kevin Cage. Now, let's listen to what the co-founder of Casper says about Casper as it relates to Ethereum in the future.
CBC Casper, which is actually launched and live and running on the Casper blockchain, could become the testnet for the main Ethereum chain. They would never merge. There will always be an Ethereum.
So what he's talking about, guys, is because they literally will be identical. That in the future, which if you look at the ecosystem, and guys, once we get regulation, again, not financial advice, but once we get regulation and get everything worked out where Wall Street and the hedge funds and all the superpowers of the world can start building and putting their customers into crypto, they're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and most of Wall Street are going to deploy onto Ethereum. So their ecosystem, guys, is already at $163 billion. $163 billion is their market cap, right? So let's think about something. And here's what the correlation is to do with Kusama and Polkadot. Now, as a general rule, Kusama makes up about 8 to 10%, or has about 8 to 10% of the market cap size of Polkadot. So if we use that as guidelines, let's fast forward, say, 2 to 3 years, ever how long it takes Ethereum to get fully where it wants to be at Ethereum 3.0, and it's running on Casper. So let's say they use that as the test net like Kusama, and we use 8 to 10% as the guideline. I'm going to use 10 just to make the math easy. You could see easily that Casper could explode by $16 billion added to their market cap by being the test net of Ethereum. Now, this isn't hypothetical, and I wouldn't bring it up if it was another influencer or another developer, quite frankly, talking about it. But that's a co-founder of Casper saying that that's probably what's going to happen. And it makes sense. It really does. Because if you're not going to use Casper, someone needs to create it, because you do need a test net for Ethereum, period. Now, right now, Casper is only $178 million. So imagine having 16 billion added to it. Guys, this token could absolutely rocket to a mind-blowing number. I'm not capable of figuring out that kind of math. But right now, it's under 3 cents. And if you add 16 billion, even half that, 8 billion, even an eighth of that, this token would absolutely explode. So that's pretty exciting. Now, guys, that being said, we already, and as far as I know, no one's denying it, that Casper is what Ethereum wants to be. So forget all this positive correlation, even if they never become the test net. This is very good technology with a team with money. Now, I want to bring one more thing to your attention, and I think this is huge. And I mentioned this in my other video. Now, guys, I'm just going to tell you what I know because I can't verify this. In my video, I talked about the risk reward. That's what I liked about Casper because, you know, it's trading under 3 cents and it's been over $40. And I'm just doing this by memory, but it's like 1,500% or 1,500x if it takes out its old high. Well, a lot of people commented that they did hit $40, but it was very illiquid, and that happened at the launch. But in my opinion, if someone sold it at $40, that's your number. However, when I went down the rabbit hole to try to get an exact, I literally found like 10 different numbers between 40 and 20. Some people told me that it as high was like $1.58. I don't know, but and it's really irrelevant. But if you look at where it's at right now, guys, and where it can be, forget the test net. I mean, it's a great project, and I mean, I think it has a good future. And I got sidetracked. I got lost there for a second. What I meant to say, why I wanted to show you this chart is it had a lot of money, a lot of big money, VC money, which is what you want to follow in the beginning. However, when you get a rise like that, when you come out of the gate at the best time, at that time, that's when Bitcoin and the entire crypto market was firing on all cylinders. They dumped on it. They took their profits, which is both good and bad. For people wanting to hold it long term, they're already, you know, they're setting it under 3 cents, and it's going to be a long ride. However, it might still be worth the ride to take, but it's definitely worth a ride to take if you're buying it under 3 cents. Because some of these people bought apparently between $20 and $40. And quite frankly, if they didn't sell, they're going to be okay, in my opinion. But the other thing it did was it got rid of all that fluff from the VCs. They can't dump on you in the future. So that's extremely positive. Anyway, guys, hopefully that all makes sense. This is not financial advice, but I've changed my mind on Casper. I'm going to stack Casper under 3 cents all day long, all through this recession, and I'm going to give them a shot. I don't know where they're going to go, but this is a top tier project, or has at least the opportunity to be, if they can continue doing what they do and the team stays together and they keep the money and they keep building and growing. And then if they happen to deploy on or deploy that strategy of being the test net for Ethereum, guys, this thing could be just off the charts. Well, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I on the right track? Am I wrong? Do you think that it will end up being the test net? Did I miss something about how I'm looking at what Casper Protocol is as relation to Ethereum? Let me know in the comments section. That being said, guys, I really like growing this community. They're teaching me a lot, and hopefully y'all are getting some value. I want you to subscribe, hit that notification so you don't miss anything. And either way, hit that like button and come back and be part of this community. Take care, guys.